morning and happy Friday. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Bailey. I am a 4th grade teacher and welcome to a Day in My Teacher Life Friday edition. Last week I shared a lot of my Friday routines just briefly and got a few questions that inspired me to do a full Friday day in my life to take you through it all. I just got to school and here's my outfit for today. Under this crew I have a teacher tee from Brookie Lace Designs. It says Happy Friday. I'm sure you'll see it later. This crew is from The Essential Teacher. It says Teacher of Tiny Humans and I love it. I have on my Lululemon skirt and APL tennis shoes today. We are allowed to dress casually on Fridays, as in teacher tees, if we make a donation. So I made my year-long donation. That way I can wear all my favorite teacher tees this year. I'm always very curious about everyone else's dress code, so leave it below. I always get to school pretty early in the morning to get my social media work done, and I also just prefer to get all of my work done in the morning. It's a more productive option for me. Staying after is just very challenging after a long day of teaching to be productive, so I just prefer to get it all done in the morning. I do have about 15 minutes of contract time built in on Monday, Thursday, Friday before the kids come in. And then on a Tuesday, Wednesday, we have 45 minutes, but that time is usually booked with staff meetings, committee meetings, book talk meetings, stuff like that. So basically, I need to be ready for my day before that contract time starts. I just prefer to come in a little bit earlier and have a slower, smooth start to my day. I also just have to get done all of my social media work before our contract hours start. So that is a priority that I make, and I'd rather do it before school than after school. Anyway, before I left yesterday, I made sure to have my whiteboard ready to go. I'm trying to minimize the last minute to-dos I have each morning. Let me show you what I have planned for today. In math, we have a very exciting lesson. I'm going to hopefully be reminding, maybe introducing some models that we're going to use all year long for multiplication and then later division. So I'm excited to get that going this morning. In reading, we've been talking about building strong reading habits and getting into those 4th grade reading expectations. So today we are visiting again the idea of goal setting. I'm going to start Tales of a 4th Grade Nothing today for Read Aloud, and then we are going to use that for some realistic fiction immersion in writing. So we're going to be looking at Tales of a 4th Grade Nothing to notice and name some of those realistic fiction elements. Later this afternoon, we do not rotate on Fridays, but my class is a little behind in sharing their Not a Box activity, so we will be doing that this afternoon. And then also later, I'm going to reveal my class family promises, which means it is officially time to condense all those sticky notes. I need to get that done before this afternoon. After that, we are just going to do some catch up and pick one time. I have a lot of mathematicians that are still working on those student book pages, so we will catch up with them then before our Pits and Cherries meeting. Pits and Cherries is a Friday class meeting that my mentor taught me about, and I have done ever since. The kids always love it. We all sit in a circle and then we take the opportunity to reflect on our week together. So we're thinking about the best parts of our week, so our cherries, and then the not so great parts, which would be our pits. They do have options when it comes to sharing. They do not have to share pits, but minimally I ask them to choose a cherry from the week. They can have up to 2 pits and up to 2 cherries, but they must have a cherry if they're sharing a pit. So they can have 1 pit and 1 cherry, or 1 pit and 2 cherries, but they cannot have 2 pits and 1 cherry. They must have some sort of good with the bad. They don't have to be related, but just making sure that we are ending things on a positive note and focusing on that. Right now I need to go condense those class family promises. That way I can have them ready to go this afternoon. I've organized things a bit. We had a lot of similar priorities. Down here in the left, we had a lot of treat others how you want to be treated, be kind, be nice. So that is all this area. We have do your best, never give up, positive attitude, smiles on your face, being safe, hands to yourself. Here, I'd kept these three together: be bold, take chances, and creative, have fun. We have nice language, making sure that we are using nice words to be helpful. Here we have kind of the family ideas, so be forgiving, including, making people feel like they matter, being respectful to others and the classroom, being leaders, following classroom and school rules, and then basically listening, paying attention, following the rules. Now I'm taking all this and condensing it down to a specific list of promises. So for next week, I have been working on my plans. I actually did it over the weekend, over the long weekend a little bit, and then I've been finalizing them throughout the week as we've kind of set the pace for things this week. So my lesson plans are done. I also just was able to get my copies done for next week, which feels so good to have done on a Friday. I'm going to sort them right now into my days of the week drawers over here, and then I'll be all set for next week. The weekly e-blast that I send out to adults at home every Friday last week, and I had a couple questions about what that looks like and what I include in it. So here is kind of the template that I go off of. I have just weekly e-blast at the top and then the date that is changeable every week. I usually put a picture from our classroom right here. This is where I put a caption for the photo, just some additional information about whatever we were doing in the photo. For the first 2 weeks, I'm including this little blurb about letting me know if they would prefer their child not to be included in the pictures that I'm sending out. And then at the bottom, I have a reminder to look at the next slide. On the next slide, I put announcements. So these are announcements from me, from the office, from my teammates, because we're rotating, or the co-curricular teachers, anything that I need to communicate with parents. I send it out weekly and I just put them here. Here are some examples of some things that I'm going to put in there this week. And then down at the bottom, we have a looking ahead for the next week. I put the co-curriculars that we have, also any larger school events that I want adults to be aware of. And that is everything I send out. Again, I send it every Friday afternoon. A little bit of information about what we did this week together, any announcements, and then a looking ahead to next week. Today I'm also excited because I get to put some Girls on the Run information in there. Girls on the Run is an after-school program that I coach with my teacher bestie. We do it 2 days a week after school. Part of the time we are doing some work in the classroom, just building connections, encouraging leadership skills, those types of things. And then the other half we are outside running and training for a 5K celebration at the end of our program. Girls on the Run is for 3rd through 5th grade girls. So I get to have some of my students join, some of my 5th graders from last year will be rejoining, which always makes me super excited. And then I also get to meet some of the 3rd graders. So it's perfect, and it's something that I'm really thankful to have the opportunity to participate in. sent out. The classroom is looking great. I have my schedule ready to go for Monday morning. I also have all my lesson plans for next week done and my copies in my drawers. So I'm feeling really good about heading out for the weekend and everything that I was able to accomplish this week. Next week is our first full week of 4th grade, so I'm definitely going to make sure that I get some rest this weekend. I will see you here next week for another new video, and thank you for being here.